Hi folks, welcome to Habitat, the webinars by Fit the Soul. Fit the Soul is an organization that helps create women leaders. Here we are trying to do this seminar at this point of time when we're all struggling to cope with COVID. So what happens? In this quicksand of COVID, are we feeling that we are pulled down? So here's a seminar, and the topic for this webinar is the focal point of a pirouetting ballerina. What happens when a ballerina is trying to twirl on point? She has to look at one point in front of her and keep her eyes glued onto that so that she can keep pirouetting round and round. If she lets her eyes go off that one point, she loses her balance. So in this quicksand of COVID-19 times, how are we as women keeping our focal point? Many women have reached out to me in the last 2-3 weeks, telling me how they've been struggling to cope. Successful professional women, they feel they have moved 5 steps back. No help in the house, trying to cope with cooking and cleaning and getting the food ready, and children at home, spouses at home, parents at home, and trying to be the super performer at work that she's always been. Very hard. And this quicksand seems to be taking control. So that's when we decided we were going to do this webinar and try and bring a few points to all of you women out there across the world on how to keep your focus. We're going to give you 3 steps to help you cope with this. The first one is to stack a habit. Many of you, or rather many of us, or many of our spouses, need a cup of coffee or a hot drink in the morning before they can get to the loo. So, what is it? They first see the cup of coffee sitting there, or they make it themselves. They smell the coffee with their nose. They taste the coffee with their tongues and their mouths and their palates. And the body is getting the message that the bowels need to start working. So what have they done? They've stacked the loo habit on the coffee. So as soon as they see the coffee, the bowels start actually working. So they have stacked the loo habit on a very attractive habit like coffee. So this is how we stack a habit. Now this is almost involuntary now for many people. So how do we do this consciously? Many of us have difficulty getting to the gym in the morning, waking up, jumping out of bed, getting to the car, or now in COVID times, getting to the Zoom session. Many of our gyms have gone online on Zoom. So for me, when I'm in bed, alarm rings, that narrative keeps start playing in my head. Jessy, you're a bit tired. Jessy, you didn't sleep well last night. Jessy, you've got a long day ahead of you. It's okay if you miss it one day. And this narrative keeps going on constantly. So what do? Switch off the alarm, turn on and go back to bed. So now, how do we start this with a habit? So if you were to think that as soon as I finish brushing my teeth, I will jump into my gym clothes and I will get to the gym. So if I wear my gym clothes, I will work out. So for me, it's getting there, that's a problem. So I keep my clothes, I take my clothes in actually when I go in to brush my teeth and use the loo. And as soon as I finish brushing my teeth, I jump into my gym clothes and then I go. So I have stacked the habit of gym onto the gym clothes, onto the brushing of teeth. So this is where it helps, because brushing of teeth is involuntary. We have to do it. Jumping, when getting into your gym clothes is the next step. And then it comes onto working out. So we've done a 3-way stacking process. So we need to always stack a habit with something which is either non-threatening, attractive, obvious, something that's easy to do. You need to understand that quite often, even bad habits are stacked. So for example, if you're binge watching television, eating chips or fried foods is something that you normally do. So it is stacked with each other. So if you break the stack by saying you will not bring food into the television room, then either you have to eat your fried foods before or after. So that way you're breaking the stack, and you're not stacking a bad habit with something that you normally do. For example, now with COVID times, let's say you can walk around your building, and you normally like to watch a TV serial in the evening. Supposing you start that TV serial with this walk. Only when I finish my walk will I watch that serial. Okay, it's like a reward, but you're stacking it together. Once you stack it together, you can't do it separately. So the minute you go into television and say, hey, I haven't walked, let me walk. So when you finish your walk, you deserve it, you've earned it, and you can watch television. Yeah, makes sense? So you're stacking a good habit with something that's obvious. For example, another way is that, let's say you see an elevator and you say, I'll take the stairs. I have a friend who's a surgeon in Bangalore. He doesn't work out, but he's really fit. He says, Jessy, I always take the stairs in whichever hospital I am. So for him, when he sees the elevator, his narrative is take the stairs. So if you start working on some narratives like that, which stack onto something that is easy, then that harder task at some point becomes not that hard. So whatever it is, you need to stack it on something that you can do easily. So when you see the elevator, say, okay, let me take the stairs. It's a narrative that starts playing automatically in your head after some time. So start stacking habits. So how do you do this? Pick 5 good habits. Also pick 5 bad habits which you want to break, and see what are the habits that stack onto those bad habits, and cut that umbilical cord. So you add a good habit to stack. You add a stack to a good habit and break a stack on a bad habit. So why don't you sit down and write 5 things that you want to do and 3 things you don't want to do, and see if it works. Stacking a habit works, but it takes a little while. You have to pursue. It's like cycling. When you first started cycling, it was very hard. Just couldn't get down to doing it. It just wouldn't move, and you were always falling down. But today, easy peasy. Any cycle, if I can put my feet down, I can cycle. So you need to understand that initial inertia and hard work will pay off if you just stick through it. So we talked about stack the habit. Now the second one is to embrace a choice. Now we've all been taught, go for the job that you're passionate about, dare to dream and chase that dream. What happens in reality? Quite often it's not. I knew a young lady who graduated with engineering degree. She wanted to be in an ad agency. but she didn't get the job she wanted. She got into a HR firm. Then she got into a management firm. And much later, she got into an ad agency. So what happens when she got into a job that she didn't like? Did she say, oh my God, this job sucks. I suck and I can't do this? No. You embrace the choice. Say, okay, this is what I've got. Let me give it my best. Let me choose to love this job. The minute you choose to love this job, your attitude changes. What is embrace? Who do we embrace? We embrace people we love. We embrace people we like to make up with. We choose to embrace ideas, ideologies that we like. So all of this is part of the things that we want to embrace. So when you say embrace, the words love, like, all come. So how about trying to embrace your job? Embrace your situation. Embrace your choices. COVID is not anybody's choice. But we need to learn to embrace this. Oh, how can I? It's not what I want. I can't go out. I can't do this. Yeah, that's fine. But how do we make good out of a bad situation? My son lives in New York all by himself. I have a niece in New Jersey. So they're both finding it difficult, especially my son is a freelance cinematographer, sorry. He'd be really upset for me if I called him a choreographer, but he's a cinematographer. And since he's a freelance cinematographer, he has no work right now. And he's staying in a city where he cannot step out. So what do? Every evening, we play board games, online board games. So we have New Jersey, New York, Bahrain, and East from Bahrain, and Bangalore all logging in. And we have a WhatsApp call that goes on. And we joke and laugh and fight with each other, and we have a lot of fun. Earlier, before COVID times, we speak to our son maybe once a week, once in 10 days. Now we speak to him every day. That's a change we've embraced through COVID. So I have a little injury on my thumb. I went and met the surgeon yesterday. I had done physiotherapy for 2 weeks. He says, you have to do the surgery. So I said, oh my God, COVID times, how can you go to a hospital? How can you do this? I said, let's do it, and let's do it now. I'm not traveling anywhere. The hospitals are by and large empty. This is a good time as any to do this surgery. Embrace it. Embrace the change. Say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So the whole point is about embracing change and accepting it and saying, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. I can't change COVID. I can change my attitude towards it. So we used to do corporate workshops, seminars, leadership programs. And we were supposed to launch 2 programs, one in Bangalore, one in Toronto in April. What happened? COVID happened. So what did we do? We've gone digital. We've embraced the change. So here we are on a webinar to all of you because COVID happened. So what are you going to do to embrace change? Embrace the choice. It's not even the change. Embrace the choice. So when you say choice, you're choosing. You're choosing to be grumpy and grouchy about it, or you're choosing to say that I will love it and I will go forward. The minute you say I love it, I will go forward, you will try to find ways in which to love this. So we have start the habit, embrace the choice. And the last one is to track your progress. So here, all of us think we are better than we are, at least in my case. I always think I work out more than I do. I eat less sweet than I do. And I follow protocol much more than I do. But actually, when I started monitoring it, tracking it, I realized I wasn't that good. So how do we track this? Let's do some fun things. So let's have 2 transparent glass mason jars. And we can have colored marbles, pebbles, we can have paper clips, anything in that, into one, and you have a date on that, the day you're starting. And then you, on the other mason jar, which is empty, every day that you exercise, you drop one pebble into the other. Or every day you go sweet free. Pick any one and start monitoring it. At the end of the month, check out how many pebbles you have in the new jar. You'll be surprised. So, and also sometimes you're working out, you're not seeing enough progress. So you said you would work out 4 days a week. And then did you get 16 or you got 18? Okay, wow, you're better than what you thought you were doing. But it's still not enough. So maybe you have to up it. You do 20 to 22. So unless you monitor it, you don't know where you are. You can't track it. So tracking your progress is very important. And if you do really well, you exceed your expectations, you can reward yourself. Not with 5 tiramisu helpings, but whatever you choose. Buy an accessory, go out and help the community, whatever you want. Or watch more television. It doesn't matter what you want. Just choose that. But track your progress. It's always interesting to see the results. And you will know how you actually slip through the cracks sometimes. The other one is, if you don't have mason jars and all that, take a nice graph sheet or make a little few columns, 31 columns, and start drawing colored X's on them, on the sheet, or even tick marks, whatever, and start counting them at the end of the month. And you will see it's a lot of pleasure in marking that box. So here we're talking about 3 parts. Just give me a moment. So we have stack the habit, embrace the choice, and track the progress. So we are saying that let's start doing this. Let's keep our focal point intact. And let's hold our ground. Let's hold our heads high. So let's track the progress, embrace the choice, and track the progress. Stack the habit, embrace the choice, track the progress. First, when you stack the habit, you will notice that you are actually getting better on your habits. When you embrace the choice, you start accepting what you are, where you are, and start enjoying it. And when you track the progress, you understand where you are slipping up and where you're exceeding your targets. And we at Fit the Soul, we do group mentoring, one-on-one coaching, we do webinars, we send out regular blogs out to help women not just cope with this state of the world, but to come out, emerge leaders. We want to help women break the glass ceiling. And that's what With the Soul is about. So if you're interested in knowing more, feel free to get in touch with us. And we will be coming up with many, many more programs. And join us with us. You can go to fitthesoul.in, our website, and subscribe to our newsletters. And you will know more about what we're doing and the programs are coming out. I hope you enjoyed this session and looking forward to having you for many more of our sessions. Thank you and have a wonderful day.